2001. Okay. So when I say a Moonlight effect, awards effect, William Catlett, who plays a character named Lucky, he is in a perfect place to have what Mahershala Ali had. He could win Best Supporting Actor, period. He's in a perfect place for that. Teyana Taylor is a different ball game because Moonlight did not have a Teyana Taylor. So as far as Best Actress goes, she could be the second black lady to win Best Actress in like 20-something years. Viola Davis and Octavia Spencer have won Best Supporting Actress, and Regina King, I believe. But Teyana Taylor could be in a really good spot to win Best Actress. And so I think that's a whole different conversation because Moonlight did not have that. Now, another thing Moonlight had that this movie had is 3 stages of like the same black child. There's a baby child or a young-ish child. There's a middle, like teen child, and then there's like a grown-ish child. Moonlight had like a grown. This movie had like basically from childhood to like the end of the teen years. That is a potential spoiler. So, sorry. But I also don't think it is. And this movie is in a good spot. I don't know about the children being awarded certain things. Obviously, like, you know, I'm not an Academy member. Like, there's all these nuances that I may not understand. But just looking at other things, I don't know what it would look like for the kids to be nominated for stuff. But I think they could be nominated for like extra stuff. Like I could see one of the kids or like some of the kids or all of the kids, depending on like what I could see. Actually, I could see all of the kids being nominated for something. Maybe not all in the same category, but I could see each of them getting nominated for something. Honestly, I could really see Teyana Taylor. Like, if we're not talking about her this time next year, something is wrong. And I don't want to pick out the kids and be like, of all the kids, or all the actors, like, you know, this one should be not like, you know, they had different jobs. They were playing the same person at different stages of life, so they had different jobs. So the biggest person, and I think one of the weird things that could happen if we're just looking based on history and based on like, if we're going to infer certain things, I think a person who's in a person who's in a fantastic spot to really do this movie some good when it comes to awards. And when I say do this movie some good, I don't mean the person who's like most deserving, but I think just based on what we've seen of like trends, a person who like could easily be singled out as like, you know, I don't want to say tokenized, of like, oh, we're just gonna, you know, we're gonna use him to, and deservedly so. But honestly, William Catlett, I think he's in a fantastic spot to be like, which is again like not great, because in Moonlight the men were the face of the movie, so that makes sense. This movie's face is a woman in front of the camera, and as we've learned, behind the camera as well, and on the page, because the woman wrote it too. AV wrote it. And also in the producing booth, because Lena Waithe, you know, and it's a black woman. So I think if they're not going to play in our face, if they're not going to play with us, then Teyana Taylor really needs to be like the conversation. Like throughout award season, she really needs to be the conversation. And honestly, I think William is right up there, like really, he's really actually being a supporting actor. He's helping her and he's helping the movie. And I think together they could be the conversation. And if we're really going to have a conversation, I think we need to talk about the kids as well. in this movie. And if we're really, really, really going to have a conversation, we need to talk about old girl right here. Tara. Is it Tara? No, it's not Tara. Let me see. Yep, Terri Abney. We need to talk about Terri Abney. Because Terri Abney plays Aunt Kim. And if we're really, 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 really going to have a conversation about this movie, we need to have a conversation about her. Because she was really good in this. And I think like what I would love to see is really kind of like what happened with Everything Everywhere All at Once, where basically everybody got the shine that was like, you know, because Terri Abney, she could have a Best Supporting Actress situation going. She really could. Obviously Teyana Taylor, Best Actress, period. Moving on. William Catlett, Best Supporting Actor, yes. Honestly, if we're really, really, really going to have that conversation, Josiah Cross. He's played like the eldest version of Terry. Best Supporting Actor. I would love to see it. The same way Stephanie Shu, I believe. But Stephanie was not a Best Supporting Actress. Stephanie was like a main actress. So I don't really see how that makes sense. She really carried a lot of that movie. Everything Everywhere All at Once. She really carried a lot of that movie. I want to make sure I get her name right. Stephanie. Okay. So it's HSU. I'm not sure if that's Stephanie Sue or who. I'm not sure what's silent, but Stephanie Ann, and her last name is spelled HSU. She got a Best Supporting Actress Oscar award, which I'm happy she got that. She didn't win, but I'm happy she got that because now moving on, even if she's in a commercial for bathwater, you have to say, starring Academy Award nominated Stephanie. And that's the conversation that, you know, audiences understand, especially when it comes to advertising and marketing. Those little, you know, words, Academy Award nominated or winner, it puts butts in seats or eyes on screen for people to watch. A lot of the time, you know, it lets people suspend their disbelief. If the disbelief is like, you know, oh, I don't think I'll like this or whatever, but it has so-and-so, you know, and they won an Academy Award. Why not? You know, it could eliminate like a level of decision fatigue, because it's like if you're going to choose between movie A and movie B, and movie B has like 4 Oscar winners, you're like, okay, yeah, I'm going to watch, you know, Don't Look Up, because every other person in this movie has an Oscar, you know? So there's that. Like, look at this movie. And so like literally Ki Huy Quan, Michelle Yeoh, obviously Jamie Lee Curtis, like every other person in, you know, the Daniels, every other person in Everything Everywhere All at Once got nominated for an Oscar, and I would love to see that for this movie, 1001. Chair might squeak. It has been squeaking this whole time, but it might squeak again. Hang on. Oh, good. We're still filming. We're 40 minutes deep, and we ain't even talked about this movie in terms of talking about it. Okay, let's talk about the lines that I liked. We're going to run through these because I don't want this to be too long. I don't want to run through these. I'm just going to say them. So there's a line that says, why does everything... Oh my God, this line, this is the first line I wrote down. It's not the first line that hit me, but it's the first line I wrote down. The first line that hit me was, there's more to life than bad beginnings. I love that line. I love that line so much. Another line that hit me, and this is the first one I wrote down because it really hit me. It really, really hit me. Was, why does everything good mean I gotta go somewhere else? That line really hit me. It really, really hit me. So I would really like to see AV's, her pen, as we like to say, her pen game is strong. I would like to see her pen recognized, because there were multiple lines in the movie where I was like, that's a bar. There's a girl in this movie who I love so deeply. Her portrayal, I love it so deeply. And the themes of this movie, I haven't even gotten into talking about the themes because I just really want to see this movie win. There's another line that says, I'm not here for anybody trying to make me hate myself. Are you kidding me right now? Sorry about your ear. But are you kidding me with this line? I'm not here for anybody trying to make me hate myself. Period. And there's a line that I think I may have improvised, but the version of the line basically says, don't nobody care about black women except other black women. And even that gets messy sometimes. That was the line that made me think, who wrote this? And now that I see it's a black woman that wrote it, that line makes sense. Makes sense. At the very least, we can call her a woman of color. And I do believe she's a black woman, especially because of the themes that are addressed in this movie. Yeah, I do think A.V. Rockwell is an African American woman, and we are going to try to verify that. I don't know if she had... Oh, does she have a Wikipedia? Yeah, I do think, on Oscars.org, hello Oscars.org, it says A.V. Rockwell on writing a love letter to black women with 1001 exclusive. So I do believe A.V. is a black woman. Yeah, I do think my sis is black. Yeah, I think my sis is black. But she might be a couple of different things. She might be Dominican. She might be, But, oh yeah, she's black. Because there's something here that says black women give so much to our families. And so she has identified herself as a black woman. Yeah. Oh, and she says also, I felt it would be incomplete to tell a story about what it means to live in her shoes, in our shoes, she says. And so there's a couple of things in this article that makes me see that she's a black woman. But yeah, it made me wonder, who wrote this line that says nobody cares about black women except other black women, and even that gets messy sometimes. I'm like, who wrote that? And it was a black woman who wrote it, so she knows. Gosh, I didn't want to spoil this movie, so I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm just gonna say go watch it. I'm gonna say it one more thing. And this might be a spoiler, but it's, again, thematic. Throughout the movie, there's voiceovers. You hear certain voiceovers. And given what we know now in 2023, because this movie is not set in 2023, this movie is set back in the day. That's all I'm going to say. But given what we know now, the voiceovers that we hear are and also the fact that the voiceovers they happen with shots of the city, throughout the city. And so the voiceovers don't really happen, if I remember properly. They don't really happen when you're looking at certain people. They happen with shots of the city. Those voiceovers, I think for me, they symbolically represent like ghosts. Like just ghosts that I was thinking about this in the car, and what I came up with was ghosts that haunt some people in this country. But one of the first things I said was like ghosts that haunt this country, period. And it's not even about the voices and the voiceovers themselves, but like, it's not, those specific voices that haunt. But it's like what those voices represent. And if you really watch this movie, and I think that if there was like a spoiler version of like reviewing this movie, I would break it down even more of like, when you think of a ghost, what do you like? You think of like a ghost haunting where? It's like, well, that's a haunted what? A haunted house. We think of ghosts in terms of like a haunted house. And when you think of like housing, my goodness, these voices, these ghosts that haunt this country. It's not enough that the country is their home. This might be a bit of a spoiler, but it's like they want to come into your home. So it's not enough that the country is their home. It's like they want to come into your home. And there would have been like a version of me 5 years ago. I don't know. I'm about to be 30. So 25-year-old me, probably even at 25, there would have been a version of me that would have been like, it's not that serious. Or even if I said, okay, sure. Even if I conceded, actually, no, it wouldn't have been me conceding. Because I wouldn't have been arguing. I would have just been like, girl, it's not that serious. And if I like ended up agreeing, I would have just been agreeing. I wouldn't have been conceding because I wouldn't have really been taking a stand. But even if I would have agreed that like, okay, sure, fine. Like, it is that serious. I don't know that I would have thought that like it was a concerted effort. That's all I'm going to say. A concerted effort. There was a part of me that truly, I don't know if it's goodwill or the benefit of the doubt, but there was a part of me that truly refused for a very long time to believe that some of the goings on in our country, in our world, were concerted and like, y'all planned, like somebody sat down with a pen and a paper and they planned this out. Or y'all had conversations about it over drinks. Or little handshake deals y'all made. A part of me would have really refused to believe that. And it wouldn't have even been a refusal of like, oh, y'all ain't that smart to like plan something this bad. Like, y'all not smart enough to plan something this sinister. It's not that. I think I would have not believed it because I was like, no one is that mean. Like, no one can be this heartless. Like, no one could be this evil and crazy and all the other words that come to mind. Like, no one could be this haunting. No one could be this spectral. No one could be this ghost-like. A part of me would have really refused to believe that these ghosts that haunt our known universe, a part of me would have refused to believe that they were actually choosing to be ghosts to some people. I'm like, don't nobody want to choose to be a ghost. Like, you really let your heart die and become this ghost? Like, you really let yourself die? Like, you killed the part of yourself that was good? Or you let somebody take that away from you? Like you really let it go? Or however you lost it, like you know, like you picked up like you chose to hunt? You know, like maybe somebody took your innocence away from you, but then you chose to hunt people with what you had left? I would have never ever believed that. Because I'm like, no one is that, you know. But I think it's true. I think it's true. Unfortunately, I think it's true. And it makes me a little bit sad and brings a bit of a tear to my eye. But 1001, I've put my bid in very early in March, which if anything, well not anything, if everything everywhere all at once is any indicator, putting a bid in this early on a movie, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. I have put in my bid early. And I hope you do too. I hope you do too. We might have a squeak. I think we might have had some squeakers. And I think I might have been a little bit too loud in your ear. So I'm sorry. I'm still getting used to ASMR. ASMR. Allow me to be from New York today, okay? Allow me. The chair gonna squeak.